And welcome back to another episode of Victory Lap. We have a huge episode tonight. We're going to announce our alias, our gambling guy. We got Swanson Johnson on the line. Swanson, how we doing tonight?
Doing great. It's a beautiful day. It's hot as shit outside, but I'm inside in the nice air-conditioned, cool basement I'm in.
And we got, as always, Brian Mischler. Brian, how we doing tonight?
Just incredible right now. Swanee, what's up? I'm glad to have you on the show for the first time, so let's do this.
I'm glad to be here.
So, basically, we hired Swanson to be our gambling guy, our gambling guru. He's going to start with the golf tournament this weekend. He'll start doing some MLB plays. Once football rolls around, he'll be huge into football. He'll be posting pics on Twitter. He'll be in and out of our live shows. He'll be on the Irish shows for gambling advice on those ones. So Swanson, you want to get into some golf talk for a little bit?
Absolutely. As you guys know, the British Open starts here tomorrow. It'll actually tease off at 1:30 our time, Eastern here. Looking forward to it. Been doing some analysis, some breakdown, and just analyzing what guys I like. Golf I'm known for. It's one of my main sports I like to analyze and bet on.
Are you doing a big deep dive right now, Swanson, with your analysis?
Yeah. So right now I just like to give you guys a little preview of the course, and then I'll tell you the guys I like this week, the guys I'm fading. But yeah, so as you guys know, the tournament's at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. It's home of Rory. He's from Northern Ireland, but I'm not big on him at all this week. He doesn't have that clutch gene per se. As we all know, he struggled in majors in the past. He shit the bed at the end of a couple, fell apart in the Masters. I'm not big on him at all. He is the betting favorite. Couple guys I am.
I agree. Rory lacks some stones. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he's just...
Plus, I feel like anytime someone's back home, they never seem to win.
Yeah, too much
He's
pressure.
ballless.
Yep, he's got too much pressure. Yeah, he used to date Carolina Wozniacki. Don't know why he let that one go, but he did. That was his call, not ours. But
could be his biggest loss to date.
Could be. But, yeah, so I'll just get in the picks, and through them I'll talk about the course a little bit more. I'm not sure how knowledgeable everyone is listening, but last time the British Open was played at this course was 1951, so there isn't too much history there. Usually you can, look back, how have guys played there, how have they played in the past, but we don't have that this time. They've redone the course a little bit, adjusted some of the holes. Rory, actually, I'll give him credit, he has the course record, but that doesn't mean anything. It wasn't like it was in a big tournament or anything. So par 71 course, got 3 par 5s only. The first 3 days, based off the weather here early in the week, it looks like guys could go low, but last time I checked the weather, it looks like Sunday there could be wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, so we could have a rough Sunday like there was last year, where Speed, co-leader going into Sunday, fires a 76, falls apart. So don't be surprised if going into Sunday, you have one of the top guys on the leaderboard falls apart, has a bad round. So I'd like to start off. I'll explain kind of how I structure my bets with golf specifically. I usually stick to a $250 to $300 budget. So on a per unit basis, my unit will say is $300. So spread that out over 4 golfers. Give yourself kind of couple options. If one guy plays bad in a week, you still have a chance at paying out big. So first guy I took, obviously had to roll with Brooks Koepka. Such a beast, as everyone knows. Just this week he posted, or there was video of him on Twitter talking about how he doesn't practice, similar to Ellen.
He literally said, Swanson, he literally said the only time I play golf is when you see me on TV.
No, he did, but he did say that for big events he will practice. So he said They asked him why he will win this tournament, and he said because I've actually practiced.
The one stat that scares me the most is he's never won the Masters, never won the U.S. or the British Open, and that is the reason I mentioned that is all 4 majors he's won, he's played in a tournament the prior week. So I am scared a little bit about that, but one thing I love is, you know, how I mentioned earlier, there's not much history here. His caddy grew up and is a Portrush native and has said that he's played over 1,000 rounds at the course. So, you know, caddy on the bag, he's going to be giving him great insider info throughout the week. Feels comfortable there. So love Brooks. I got him at plus 940. So that's 100 to win 940. So that's a third of the unit going towards Brooks. Next guy I took, obviously, Ricky Fowler. He's always been a favorite of mine to take. He's cost me a good amount of money in my days. Shrug. He's always that clean-cut dude on the course. He always crowd favorite, but he's never played up to par. He's never won a major, and I'm not going to not bet on him and him win a major. I do not, because the moment I don't take him, I know he'll win it. He also plays really good in bad weather. There's supposed to be some slight showers a couple of the days, and with the wind gusts, he's always a good weather player. He's not been on top form this year, but I think Links Golf sets up well for his game. I think he could get it done. I got him at 34-1. So that I put 100 on him, so another 1/3 of a unit, so that's 100 to pay 3,400. And then to round out my last 2 golfers, I got 1/6 of a unit on Justin Rose and 1/6 of a unit on Tommy Fleetwood. Rose, great putter. You know, he was right in there at the end of the U.S. Open. But he's off the tee. His iron game wasn't there. Reason he was in it was his putting was good. I think he'll dial in his drives and his iron shots, and I think he'll be in contention this week. I got him at 22-1. 50 pays 1,100, and then like I said, the other guy for a 1/6 of a unit, I took Tommy Fleetwood. I got him at 30-1. 50 wins 1,500. Thinking behind here is he's played well in the British Opens before. He's from Europe. I want to say he's from Great Britain, England area. And he's a really good ball striker. Huge thing for this week is a ball striker is going to win here. The greens are slower, so you know the guys that struggle on the greens usually they're going to be able to make up with that this week just because the greens are slower here at Royal Portrush. But that's how I rounded out my picks. Got a 1/3 of a unit on Brooks Koepka, 1/3 of a unit on Ricky Fowler, and then 1/6 of a unit on Tommy Fleetwood and 1/6 of a unit on Justin Rose. I originally was going to go with 3 golfers, but I just couldn't pick out of the 4 who I wanted to go with the 3, and I would have been kicking myself if I would have chose wrong. So usually I try to stick with 3. But this tournament, I went with 4. And for the audience out there, just give you a little bit of background about prior picks. This year, PGA Championship, I had Brooks Koepka at 10-1. That was a winner. In the Masters, I didn't win, but I had 4 of the top 12 golfers with Justin Rose, Ricky Fowler, Tony Finau, and John Rahm. In prior years, I had Justin Thomas winning the PGA. Even couple years ago, I bet on Kevin Tway. Don't remember the tournament, but it was middle of June. He was very, very big payout. And then, of course, I've won the British Open before. 2017, had a nice payday on Jordan Spieth, 14-1. I risked $100, paid out $1,400. So, you know,
I have a question to our audience real quick. Swanson,
absolutely.
Let me butt in real quick. Does this sound like the voice of a man who is not confident in himself? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm extremely confident. Golf is what I was born to bet on. Football and golf are my 2 favorites, and I would not be here today talking to you guys if Brian and Mike did not feel confident in my picks.
So you have it here. You have his 4 picks. Hammer it in. Tournament starts when? Tomorrow or Friday?
It starts in approximately, it's 5:52 p.m. right now Eastern. It will be starting here in about 7.5 hours. If you want to tune in, I'll be up and early. I'm probably going to wake up. Ricky Fowler tees off at 5:20. I'll be right in front of the TV, tuned in, locked in, watching.
Perfect. So he will tweet out his picks too. They're obviously going to be on here for future references. Some picks he's going to just tweet out, and other picks he's just going to release on the podcast. So you have to, once he gets hot, you're going to want to hammer everything that he's tweeting out. So you're going to have to keep up with the podcast, keep up with the tweets, but follow him at Swanson Johnson 2. We will post his @ when we release the podcast. But Swanson, appreciate it. Look forward to working with you in the future. Let's get hot, brother. Let's get hot.
Absolutely. I appreciate.
Let's make some money.
Hey, yeah, and I just like to, conclude on the note that, in my opinion, turtles are naked.
Oh, okay. That brings us to our next segment.
Are you out, Swanson? Are we losing you?
I can stick around for a few more minutes.
Okay. So we're gonna bring in our next segment. We asked this question on Twitter today. If a turtle loses its shell, is it naked or homeless? You can also throw dead in there. I'm going with naked. Brian, what are you at?
I was shocked that 37% had naked, 37% had dead, 26% had homeless. I mean, let's be honest. There's no chance that turtle's dead. Absolutely not.
No chance. That turtle break all the time. A new shell.
You can get a new shell. I'm pretty sure they get a new shell every year. They just go to a store and just buy a different one. So there's no chance he's dead. But I think he's obviously naked. The dude's just going to be walking around. I mean, he could get eaten by a vast amount of predators without that thing. So yes, he's naked, and more specifically, he's naked and afraid.
So your point, Brian, about how he could be eaten alive, wouldn't that kind of go into he's homeless then? Because I can wear clothes, but I can still be eaten alive. But if I'm under my roof, I'm kind of protected.
Yeah, see, I understand that argument there. I think there's an argument to be made that he's homeless because I hadn't talked to any turtles recently, so I'm not sure where they live. If they live inside their shell, I don't know. But I think he's naked. So
I think I actually just talked myself out of thinking he's naked. I think he's homeless. Specifically because of what you just said.
Could he be both?
He could, but we're looking for one answer here. I think he's homeless because I think because
he can't survive without a home.
He can't survive without a home. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of homeless people. It's tough to live homeless, man.
Dude, turtles are born with shells, so that means that's their naked body. Boom, roasted.
No,
I like it.
Still done.
Now I'm confused now. Oh my.
No, I think I convinced myself he's homeless. So, wait, Swanson, what did you say? Did you say naked or homeless?
I originally went with naked, but I now that I'm thinking about it more deeper in thought, I'm going to go homeless. Because I don't think animals can be naked. Only humans can.
See, that's a good point, too. Because
otherwise all animals are naked.
Like my dog's naked, technically.
Yeah, unless you give them a nice, fur coat. Like in the winter.
So
their dogs are naked all the time.
We got to wrap this up then because Swanson's got to get out of here. So we got me and Swanson are on the homeless side of this now. Brian,
I'm still sticking to my guns.
Brian's
He's
sticking
naked.
to his gun. Okay, so we got
you're born with the shell. You're naked.
2 homeless. Go vote on our Twitter page so we can discuss this. If you vote dead, just don't even bother voting. Actually.
He's not dead. You shut your mouth, you people. We don't need voice of reasons here.
Yeah. So with that, Swanson, it was a pleasure having you, bud.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate
it, Swanee. Couple big winners.
I won't let you down.
We'll have you on.
My word and I deliver.
We're gonna have him on for a lot of college football over under season wins bets coming up here shortly. So
we shall.
So tune in. He'll tweet out his winners as well as they're on this podcast tonight. Swanson, always good hearing from you. We'll be in touch.
Yeah. Hey, enjoy some early mornings this weekend watching some golf. You know I will.
All right. See you, Swanson.
Take care.
All right. So that wraps up our little segment with Swanson, kind of intro with Swanson. Short show today. We're going to wrap it up here shortly. Not a lot going on in the sports world, kind of that boring period right now. Football's about to start. Then baseball gets into all the playoff races, and then that will heat up. So, Brian, as an avid Cubs guy, we got a little in you to talk about right now.
Oh yeah, the Cubs couldn't have asked for a better start to the second half of the season. I mean, it's not reasonable to ask them to sweep the Pirates and the Reds right out of the gate. So I said 5 wins out of the first 6, and that's as good as you can ask for. They did exactly that. And after today's start, I could not be more encouraged with Yu Darvish. He's had 2 straight appearances, 2 straight starts in a row where he's looked like the ace that the Cubs paid him to be. He hit 98 miles per hour on the gun in the 6th inning 3 consecutive times in a row today to strike out Yasiel Puig. And I didn't think I would ever see Yu Darvish ever do that in a Cubs uniform. So the velocity is there. He's limited his arsenal down to not as many pitches, which has helped his command because he can now command it with more, or command it more convincingly because he doesn't have so many pitches he's thrown. He can narrow it down, and it's helping him a lot. As of like a week ago, he had the 3rd lowest hard hit percentage in all of baseball, which means like with a 5 ERA that he has, the reason why he's giving up so many runs is because of his command, and he has the most amount of walks in the NL. So he's figured out his command the past couple 4 or 5 starts, and he hasn't been giving up near as many runs. So I'm very encouraged with him. I mean, the Cubs don't really have an ace like Hamels and Hendricks. I really don't think they're not really like a World Series type of ace. Yu Darvish can be that guy, but we'll see how the rest of the season plays out.
Yeah.
One thing I have to add, dude, Albert Almora sucks. Like he's not good. I think you honestly should send him down and bring up Ian Happ. Ian Happ's been playing really well the past 40 or so plate appearances down in the minors, and I think you got to give him a shot. I mean, he's proven to be. I mean, at one point last year he had an 850 OPS, and then had a bad last 2 months, but so did the entire Cubs lineup. So I think you got to give Happ a shot. I think Almora sucks. I think you need to send him down so we can figure it out. He's got no plate discipline. He swings at more sliders in the dirt than even Javier Baez did back in 2 or 3 years ago.
And that was every other pitch.
Yeah. And he has a 55% ground ball rate. That is so high and so bad. How many innings has he killed because he turns someone on first and third, 2 outs, and or 1 out, and he grounds out into a double play? I've seen that so many times this year. He's got one of the worst exit velocities of any Major League Baseball player, which means he's not hitting the ball hard, which is as big of an issue as anything. So, I mean, there's been multiple different things that you can point out and say, holy shit, Albert Almora has proven with more starts that he sucks. So I think you can't put him. And the fact that he let off today is a joke. He's got a 289 OBP. Yeah, that ends my rant.
Yeah, well,
I've been pretty negative with Almora, but obviously it's positive. The Cubs have a 3-game divisional lead right now. They've looked as good as they have all season these past 6 games. So all thumbs up from the Cubs fan base right now.
White Sox couldn't be looking worse. So, and if you argue with that, you're just a blind White Sox fan. For me,
and Eloy just got put on the
hurt.
IL,
yeah.
right?
not good. If I were the White Sox, I would literally play all young guys, get any guy who's older or on some stupid contract that they're going to get rid of or up next year that they're not going to resign. Do not play them. Play the young guys. You can actually contend for a playoff spot next year. Why waste?
Yeah, they need to sell at the deadline.
Exactly.
Like, I've heard rumors that they were trying to make a deal to try to go for the playoffs this year. That is idiotic. They should sell this year, and then next year is their window to make the playoff.
They're not making the playoffs this year. That'd be so stupid.
There's been legitimate talk about that, and I'm just like,
they're 10 games out of the second wild card. They haven't won.
I think the last 5 games, or the 5 games after the All-Star break, destroyed any narrative that they're going to be buyers at the deadline.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, next year you can actually make a playoff push. You can legit make a playoff push.
Yeah, they definitely can with Kopech coming back.
And Cease is only going to get better. So
they need to view this year like the Cubs did in 2014.
Right.
Cubs knew they had no chance. They won, I don't know, 77, 78 games. The White Sox would probably win maybe a little bit more than that. I don't know after this bad start, though. But
I was about to say,
next year's their year to start their competitive window.
For sure. But that wraps up this show. Quick show. Everyone give a follow, retweet, give it a listen. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.